What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast for another episode of Black Friday. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another Black Friday episode. My topic today, man, I got the idea from recently having a gathering with some old Navy shipmates. I feel like we've developed a certain relationship where we all feel like we're a family. To most of them, you know, I feel actually a lot closer than I actually do my real family. And it just made me pose the question, you know, is blood really thicker than water? And I'm going to read the phrase, blood is thicker than water, is an idiom that's often used incorrectly. The original meaning of the phrase is that bloodshed on the battlefields creates stronger ties than family ties. And this is kind of how I feel about my shipmates, even though we haven't gone to battle or anything like that together. It's just the time spent on the ship and the camaraderie that we shared. Like I said, we just all became one big family, and I feel like I can depend on them more so than I can depend on my actually family members. And I just wondered, you know, I know two of you guys are also in the military, and I possibly can relate, and I'm sure you guys probably have also relationship with those shipmates that you may feel the same way. But I was just wondering if you guys felt that in those type of situations, if you felt, you know, blood was actually thicker than water, or if it was the other way around. And when I read the definition, it says that the people often use it the opposite way of what it actually means. You know, how do you guys feel about, you know, that when you hear the phrase blood is thicker than water?
Me personally, you might find it funny, but it was an old saying. I was watching a show called Doogie Howser, MD.
I watched.
You watched it?
Yeah, I liked it.
So it was a saying he said one time. He was talking to one of his friends. He said, family, you're just stuck together. But a friend, you get to choose. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, honestly, I mean, even though you have family, man, family can turn on you.
Yeah.
But when you get to choose a friend, like you fellas to be around, I get to choose y'all. I can tell y'all, man, F y'all. I don't see y'all no more. Because I ain't got no ties with y'all other than you guys be my friend. But when you choose friends like you guys, to me that's heavier, that's deeper, because we get to choose. We could walk away at any time, but we chose to stick together for many, many, many years. So to me, that's deeper.
As family, you know, you feel that you're obligated, and I guess some family members feel that they're not obligated to help whenever, you know, assistance is needed. And this again is where I feel I would sometimes call a guy that, you know, I befriended or may have a long time friendship with to help me out with something versus calling my brother first, you know. And that kind of sounds fucked up when you say it out loud, you know. And it makes you question, why would one actually resort to reaching out to a friend versus a family member?
When you have family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that term, blood is thicker than water, was an old term. Of course, my grandmother used to use it, aunts used to use it, you know, everybody used to use that term. And I think the meaning that they had for that term at that point was before looking out for your friend, you're supposed to look out for your family. I think that's what they meant. And
that's how I recall it when you were here back in the day. But again, like I said, the definition says how it's used the opposite way, which is how you just defined it.
Right. And it's true because, blood is thicker than water. But your family ain't always there for you when you need, or vice versa. You may not always be there for your family, and some family members feel entitled. And when I say entitled, they feel like you supposed to do.
Right.
Or they supposed to tell you what to do. Or you supposed to listen to them. They entitled to tell you, hey, you need to help such, 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 such. That's the wrong way to go about that. Because I think we've all experienced in having better friends than some of our family members.
Right, and that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
I can definitely depend on guys that I've been friends with a lot longer than
some family members.
I'm not gonna say a lot longer than some family because they've been my family all my life. But I could depend on, like I said, a person that I've been befriended and had a friendship with for a while before I would consider, contacting a family member. And that just, like I said, when you say it out loud, it just doesn't sound right.
It don't sound right, but it's the truth.
I think a lot of that has to do with, first of all, expectation. So we place a higher expectation on family. So when our family don't respond or come through like we would think, then it kind of sits kind of funny. It rubs us the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, this friend or whomever, the thing about the friendship and the brotherhood that you may have in some cases, it's a little different because you may be close to that friend, but you probably don't experience that friend every single day. It's kind of some spurts in between versus a family member, a close family member. You'll probably experience them damn near on a daily basis.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
To where they could irritate you or to where they can work your nerves. But if you hang around that friend to a certain extent, there's a possibility, keyword possibility, that there may be something that's irritating about them that can work your nerves.
Facts.
So,
I agree with that.
So yeah, it's now also what plays a part in this is personality, whether it's a friend or family member. We know that there are some family members, man, I can't talk to this dude because this dude is an idiot.
Yeah.
I can't talk to her because she got a one-track mind. She doesn't see things. She always speaking negative. She can't speak positive life into me. Versus I have this friend here that I know that this dude's personality or this female's personality, I know that they're gonna speak life and speak positivity to me because that's what I need right now. So all that stuff plays a part, and personality is huge.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you have a friend, and I hate to bring up money in this, if you have a friend and your friend calls you say, "Man, I need $100," for the most part, that friend knows, man, this is my boy. I don't want to ruin nothing between us. I don't want money to come between us. He gonna pay you back on time. Versus if you give it to a family member, you don't know when you're gonna get that 100 back. With some of them, not all of them, but I'll even say most. I can go as far as say most. They'll give you the 100 back. They may or they may not. But just because you're family, they gonna feel like I just pay him back when I can. You get what I'm saying? Versus your friend gonna pay you back when he say he gonna pay you back.
You think the structure of the family dynamic has changed from when we were kids? Because Slash, you said earlier you used to hear your grandmother say this and that, and back then, and we spoke on this on a previous show, how it used to take a village,
Right.
And now that village, the dynamic of that village doesn't look the way it looked 35, 40 years ago. You think that plays a part in how people don't really feel or think that, as they say, blood is thicker than water, should be thicker than water?
I feel like some friends are better friends than your family members, but at the same time,
now I know bigger families, it's easier to and I think that may play a part in mine, because I don't feel that I only have one brother, so it was just he and I, and we were pretty close, and I could count on my brother anytime, and there was a gap in our age, but at the same time, being his little brother, he didn't want me hanging him around him,
right,
and pretty much messing up what he was trying to do or get into, and like I say, me being a little brother, I was the one that always told, which put a monkey wrench in shit that he was trying to do out there in them streets. But I do recall I have some cousins, and their family is they're more siblings than it was with me and my brother, and it just seemed like they were more tight knit. And sometimes I'd be wondering, maybe if I was part of a bigger family, I would feel different than how I may feel now.
Yeah, I think it plays a role because most people have what's called distant family, and what distant family is the family members that you hardly ever talk to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not until a family member pass.
Yep.
And that's normally when we come together.
That's normally, and see, that's called distant family. And I think the dynamic has changed due to the way things are now. Because back in those days when grandma used to say, hey, blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
What she was basically saying was, hey, watch them Negroes you out there messing with, because they ain't no good. Now, you got some family members that ain't no good.
Right. Exactly, yeah.
But you less likely to get in trouble behind your family members that ain't no good than these numbskulls in the street that you running behind.
Yeah, that's crazy because you just said that, because I actually knew somebody that got in trouble. A girl got in trouble by one of her male family members and kept getting in trouble. And I'm in my mind, after a while, family or not, I'll stop fooling with you, especially if you keep getting me in trouble. Keep telling on me. You get what I'm saying? I don't think I would deal with my family. I'll cut people off, family or not.
Well, you have to nowadays.
Yeah, you can't if you don't have the best interest at heart for me and us and around our surroundings, then I can't be around you, and I can never understand. And she would always say, "It's my family. It's my family." Shit.
A lot of that has to do with teaching too. Yeah. You have to, family values have to be taught.
Right.
And if family values are not taught, then you're not going to. It's not going to be something that's strong for you. That's not to the forefront.
Right.
Of your mind,
right?
Because it's not taught, right? And so sometimes when you do have those friends that are not family, but it appears that they're closer, usually if you think about it, it's usually the friend that can say the hard things that's hard to say, like I'm sorry, hey, I love you, hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Hey, you good?
Right.
When those people on the outside get to talking to you like that, and you can feel the sincerity of it,
yes,
then it makes you like, well, damn, my own family don't even
do this,
right.
Don't even listen to that,
because it's respect there, and you see the respect, you can hear
and
the
then
respect.
On top of that, if let me tell you one thing, I'm big on this, right? And a lot of men. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot. Some men may disagree with it. And I'm only speaking from a male's perspective, man on man. No homo. K-Money.
I'll let you make it. I didn't say that. Go ahead.
Male and male, right? So, a lot of times, man, we can't show vulnerability. I think that vulnerability plays a huge part,
of course,
in how you can interact with your male counterpart,
of course,
and let your hair down and have male bonding.
Of course,
yeah, exactly,
male bonding. Because if you have there's some male family members, you can't go to them and let your hair down and be vulnerable.
Yeah,
because you're afraid they're gonna talk noise about you.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Or say something. Or say something, right?
They're gonna do it.
Versus, okay, you got a homeboy
that understand.
You like, hey man, nah, I get it. you know.
But sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, depending on, and you're right, Freddie G, because I got that family that we have play dominoes, and you come over there, man, my mother and my girl tripping, and nah, they ain't finna desympathize, and they gonna do exactly what you just said, Freddie G. They gonna be like, yeah, I tore her ass up last night, yeah, make you feel even worse. And you know, that's the type of stuff they do. They gonna instigate instead of helping and try to listen to your problem.
Sometimes, man, we underestimate that as men. When it comes to male bonding, you got to be vulnerable, man. Sometimes.
Yep.
You mentioned earlier, Freddie G, something that had to be taught with family values. Is that what it was? You think the family values in a family? I mentioned how the size of a family. In my opinion, the size of the family kind of determines the loyalty that you guys may have. And I feel if you have a poor family versus a middle class or upper class family, those values are going to be different. Do you agree to a certain extent?
I'm gonna be honest. Actually, I don't.
You don't agree?
I don't think that your financial situation, whether you're poor, middle class, or rich, I don't think that plays a part in family values, because you could take a poor family, and this is all we have is some rice, sugar, and butter. But we're going to say grace over this rice, sugar, and butter.
You're not lying.
And we're going to make this rice, sugar, and butter work. And we're going to sit at this table. We're going to be thankful for what we have.
Yeah.
And so, hey, you know your brother ain't get much to eat. Give some to your brother. Hey, don't eat all that, because you know your brother, he coming in from practice, and you got to save some for your brother to eat.
Okay, so, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
So I don't think that the financial aspect of it, and I don't even think that the size of your family. I really, truly, deep down in my heart, believe that, man, it's taught, and I was raised by my grandparents, right? And when my grandparents were alive, and I was brought up on my mother's side of the family. When my grandparents were alive, I could see the family dynamic. I can see the family value, the closeness.
Yeah.
As soon as my grandmother died, things started to fall apart. Everybody started to go
the mama
separate ways and stuff. And it seemed as if the family dynamic was falling apart. So
that's what happened with my mom. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And you hit a lot of key points, because the family the values. Remember, I told you guys that I ran a roadside assistance company. This is the very first one that I did. The first one. So in 2005, I got to be the first person to go out of business because I had too much business. So because your name is everything doing roadside assistance. You don't want nobody saying you use an hour and a half. Take an hour and a half to get here, so you have to just kind of put yourself on hold when you ain't got enough employees. But long story short, man, when I was doing roadside assistance, everybody was my friend, family. Everybody was getting money from me. Everybody. But the moment I went down and just stopped the business and said, you know, I'm gonna go back to work because I ain't got enough employees, and I was out of there broke. Only my homeboy stuck around. Freddie G wasn't here in Houston at the time, and I wasn't. K Money. I know y'all would have been here for me because K Money. We wasn't. I think you still in the Navy, and Slash, you doing your music. You doing your music, so y'all didn't know. But it was just one homeboy out of all the people that was taking money from me doing the business, because I was making bread.
Right.
That one homeboy stuck around, man, and said, "Don't worry, I got you, bro." And I would have never thought in a million years it would have been him. You get what I'm saying? So I was like, all these people just left. And he was left. He was the only one left when the clouds cleared. So it's always the friend instead of the family. Because my family didn't, damn, you ain't got no place to live. All right, good luck, then. Good luck.
Well, I assume you use always the friend kind of loosely. But man, really is some people, whether it's friends or family, some people just hang around until they bleed you dry, until there's nothing else left to give.
Yep.
And as long as you can't provide or do nothing for them, then
you can't do nothing for them. They out of there.
Yeah. But so,
Freddie G, I mentioned the size of the family because I can see a family that's going through poverty. Like you say, that the meal is limited, and you have kids, so in that type of environment, the kids go play. They go play with each other. They go find something using their imagination because they don't have the toys that this middle class and upper class family may have. And I can see an upper class and middle class family not really having time to want to play with one another. They all doing their own things, whereas that poor family, like I say, everybody's playing with one another. You know what I'm saying? So I think that brings you that brings them closer.
You know what? That's a good point. But on the flip side of that, I could actually make an argument to say that would make them more frustrated, and that will cause a little bit more tension amongst each other.
And I totally agree, but
and that'll cause a little bit more selfishness among each other.
Are you mentioning the ones who are not in poverty? Are you talking about?
He made a point, which is a good point that he made, and I'm not saying that can't be possible. He made a point to where a lesser family that don't have much, they'll find a way to make do amongst themselves, play amongst themselves. The kids play amongst themselves versus a family that kids may have a bunch of toys or whatever. They have doing their own thing. Where when you're in poverty, it forces you kind of to be a little bit more quality time.
It's more togetherness.
So that is an excellent point. But what I said to that is, and I'm not knocking that point, but I can also see it from a different angle. I can see it from a lot of frustration there, so causing a lot of arguments. I can see it from there's you know what? Let me put it to you this way. I can talk about my own damn family. So, I grew up with two cousins who were like brothers to me. Right?
Yeah.
And we were in the same household. Right? And sometimes money was tight. There wasn't no togetherness. You know what that was? We're going to go out and we're going to do some stealing. I'm going to go steal and go get me something. I'm going to go over here and steal and get me something. And then they end up in the penitentiary. So that could actually break up family.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
That can cause arguments. Hey, look, you so frustrated and just tired and worn down for not having. The minute you come in and ain't no more rice left, who ate up all the goddamn rice?
Yeah, so now what that's saying is there are no family values in that situation at all.
Well, here's the thing. What I'm saying is that that's just an argument that can be made because, okay, you got to be able to receive the family values that's being taught too. So if things are being taught, you got to be able to receive that stuff too now. We can't exclude that. So you can have family values at times, but it still doesn't mean that it'll make you closer. It doesn't mean it'll make you closer. You can have a situation where you and your brother are tight. Super tight. But brother done hauled off and cursed mama out.
His ass is in trouble.
Now you want to beat the brakes off, brother.
That's right.
Yep.
What in the hell happened to the family values? We supposed to go talk it out. Hey, bro, you know you ain't supposed to talk to mama like that. This and this. But now you and your brother done got into a fight.
Yeah.
All because of some words that he said to mama. Or brother can, so it's all that stuff.
I feel like in the rebuttal, I guess, that you had to the point I was trying to make. We mentioned on previous shows how there are no more big mamas.
Right.
And that's where I feel the family dynamic. That was the highest respected person in the family, and once they passed and moved on, the family values just seemed to dwindle and fall apart. And I feel like no one has stepped up to play that role to keep things like they should. Because I can remember being told how if we did go outside, you make sure you look after your little brother, you make sure you look after your cousins, because we all we got type of thing. Right. But that didn't always take place. Well, as we got older, and you just made a good point in regards to, because I hear a lot now and see a lot where siblings are fighting and killing each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you didn't hear and see that shit back in the day.
No, it was unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I blame that on the family structure, just you know, being falling apart, and we not having that big mama to run things the way she did once upon a time.
That's so right.
But I also have because I didn't have many brothers and sisters, is why I feel a lot the way I feel. You know, I didn't always have to have a brother to, like I said, he didn't want me hanging around him, so I had to hang around guys that I grew up with, and if they was doing something I knew I ain't had no business doing, I couldn't be fucking with them.
Right.
And I had to have the mindset to know
that's right.
This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So that, you know, that kind of determined the path that I chose to take in growing up, and I think that's why, baby, I have befriended a lot of guys and feel like they are brothers to me, more so than, you know, the family that I actually had. Black Fact, you guys have anything else to say about the whether or not, you know, you feel blood is thicker than water, or
No.
okay? Black Fact I have today, man, is a family that I feel, you know, did things the right way, and they definitely showed how blood is thicker than water, and that's the Wayans family. We all, I'm sure, have heard of the Wayans, which is this is an American business family with many members, including Keenan Ivory Wayne, Damon Wayans, Kim Wayans, Marlon Wayans, and Damon Wayans. These are the brothers that that came on the scene first, but the family is actually a lot larger than that, and they're all in the same business, pretty much comedians in their own right. And it seems like, you know, the brothers are they planted that seed, and now, you know, when they first came out, they weren't all that famous. But now that the seed has been watered, and you can kind of see them reaping the benefits from all that work that they put in years ago. So I just wanted to shout out the Wayans family, you know, for pretty much looking out for each other and making sure that they all was eating. Thank y'all for joining us, man. Peace out. This concludes another Black Friday episode. And be sure you tune in next week for another dope episode of Music Monday with Slash. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast.